Agwandre ma Africa, ngiyathemba niphilile nonke. This video, I've got so many thoughts that I want to share with you guys. So please bear with me if it sounds like the content is all over the place. First, I want to check this issue of the DA taking Dr. John HLOPHE to court, asking the court and us as South Africans to ignore the rules, the laws, and the constitution that our country follows, because it is morally incorrect to appoint someone who was impeached. Morally incorrect. Not constitutionally, not with breaking any laws, but morally incorrect. Also, I want to play a video for you guys of a lady that says apartheid did not go away. We just privatized apartheid, meaning whatever the apartheid regime was doing in the public sector to black people, we took it as the ANC government and privatized it. I also want to speak to you guys about a clip of Dr. Young. You need to know this Dr. Young because he speaks about a very important subject of chemical warfare towards black people. Hey, as Vugema Africa. Also, I want to cover the empty tin in parliament that makes the most noise, which is Gayton Mckenzie. The comments that he made about blue lights. I was shocked that someone can, with a straight face, say, I love Cyril Ramaphosa and I'm privileged to have jumping these red robots with the blue lights. I don't get stuck in public traffic. I'm going to end this video, guys, for you guys with the comments that Utali Mpofu made in court when he was fighting this case of Dr. John HLOPHE. Let's talk about that and much more.
Welcome to King Said So, Africa's one land, one language, one currency, one army on King Said So. Africans can unite. Your Pan-Africanist podcast. Enjoy.
Peace in Pan-Africanism to all my African brothers and sisters from all around the world. Welcome back to King Said So. I'm your host, Kagiso Hlongwane Zinjiva Sono, and we're back at it again with another one. And this time around, there's a whole bunch of stories that I'm covering for you guys. You will bear with me. I want to share so many thoughts with you, but we will start with the comments of Nhlamulo Ndlela, the spokesperson of the Mkhonto weSizwe party. Nhlamulo is a wise man. I feel like every time I speak about Nhlamulo Ndlela, I need to add that protect this young man at all costs. Protect this young man, Nhlamulo Ndlela, the spokesperson of the MK party, by all means. Don't replace that man. Let him play that role. Only elevate him to higher positions. Protect that young man by all means. Now, he made some comments about how the DA wants us to follow the moral compass. But if we had to follow that moral compass, none of the DA members of parliament will be in parliament because they are racist by nature.
Use morality as a basis at which the court should find him non-eligible to participate. If we're going to talk about morals, then all of them should resign. Because they represent apartheid, they represent racism, they represent murders. That's who the DA is. But in effect, them being there in parliament, it means that we're allowing racists, murderers, to participate in lawmaking. So if you're going to talk about morals, they're the last people to talk about morals. In actual fact, then in that case, every single one of them should be resigning. Because then in that case, they're not eligible to participate in parliament and be lawmakers as racists. They've got Conan, who's also a racist and non-racist, but he participates in committees. He represents them in committees. They don't say anything about that. But no, it's fine for us to have a racist to form part of the police committee and make laws that are supposedly supposed to protect our people. How does that work?
Now, we don't have to talk about Ronaldo Huas. You guys know the situation. We saw what happened. The DA tried to fool us and said we have suspended him from all party activities, but he's fine. He can go to parliament. And I think he's one of the leaders in parliament committee. Also that boy from AfriForum, who they have taken, who has been racially profiling black people ever since when he was in AfriForum. He went to, I think it was TUT, and painted his face black to mock us as African people. The DA is a racist party, but the DA's racism gains confidence because there's colored and black Africans who are supporting the DA. Those are the problems that we are having. All of those colored people and black people who continue to sing DA, 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 Helen Zilla, Coco Zilla, they are the problems that we are having. Divide and conquer is the issue that we are having. You know, I don't have a problem with DA. Let the white people vote for DA. It's fine because it benefits them. Look at who are the faces in parliament. Look at who are the faces in the top structures of DA. It benefits Africans and white people. So for me, it makes all sense. If I was white, I would vote for the DA. But tell me, out of 10 marks, why is it as a colored person who's staying in a Mitchell Spray or whatever colored area that you are staying in, what makes you think, what motivates you to vote DA? As a black person from Khayelitsha, Elanga, why is it that you are voting for the DA? Tell us, Mano. Just give us 10 marks here. The corruption that the mayor of Cape Town has found, they're stealing money. They don't look after black people. They are firing teachers. What is it that motivates you as a black person to say, listen, they've kicked out Herman Shaba, they've kicked out Musimaimane, but I will still vote for DA. What do you think they will do to you? Man, you guys are making us sick, man. You're making us sick. And if we had to look at that moral compass, if we had to say, okay, let's follow moral compass, let's ignore all these laws, let's ignore all of these constitutions and act, you know, the section 178, let's make sure that we follow moral compass. It means that none of the DA members, Tian Hazen, Vanessa, what's his name, all of those DA members cannot be in parliament because they are racist. Their party is racist, and we will have to continuously tell our people that that is a racist party, and we must not stop. Actually, I've got a new slogan that I got from TikTok when I was doing live there, is that a vote for the ANC in the local elections that are coming, a vote for the ANC in the national elections that are coming in 2029, it's a vote for the DA. It's equal. You vote for the ANC, you are voting for the DA. Just like when you are voting for the MK, you are actually voting for the EFF, and when you're voting for the EFF, you're actually voting for the MK. We need to come with that mindset to the next elections. When you vote ANC, just remember you are voting DA. And all of those white racist people, when you are voting DA, just remember you are also voting ANC. Let's talk about this issue of privatization of apartheid.
I think it's a shame that we are able to come here and teddy bearize, if I may, the state of this country. South Africa is a failed state. Apartheid has now been privatized. And we have merely added black people to the white systems. White people are still calling us kafirs.
Yes.
We know they hate us.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we still don't have the power to fight it. You're working in corporate, darling, you know your boss is white, your manager's white, and they don't care about your lived experience as a black person in this country. You know, I have a friend from Zim who told me that watching our country go down as a Zimbabwean is like reading a past exam paper. He was like, I know the answers. And the privilege that we have right now is like having a voice. But honestly speaking, we shouldn't be talking about this 25 years later. We ask for basics, education, water, bread, toilets, food.
I think I couldn't have placed it better myself. Apartheid is privatized, guys. You go to a school, a private school, they separate black children from white children because of language and because of skin color. They just privatize it. They can stop access for black children without saying we are stopping it because you are black. We are rejecting you because we are black. That's what happens. Opportunities are also that way. Also, we know that in the banking sectors, the banks treat us as African children differently from our white counterparts. We have just privatized apartheid. That's it. Racism is privatized now. How many times do we see these white politicians calling us with the K word? How many times? Ronaldo Huos. How many times do we see small children now on TikTok, small Afrikaner children calling other black children the K word and the N word? How many times have we seen this? It's happening. It's just privatized. And if we are not waking up, we'll continue to fight for the basic things. It's very disheartening to hear what is it that black people are fighting for right now. Basic education, basic service delivery, water, sanitation. We are fighting for those things. If indeed right now we are still fighting for those things 30 years later after our democracy, when are we going to fight for the land? When are we going to fight for the nationalization of our national resource? When are we going to take these resources and make it our own and we benefit? Those things are far from us because we're still crying about a pothole. We're still crying about access to clean water. You know, it breaks my heart, man. It breaks my heart because there are bigger fights that people don't even know. What I call the chemical warfare. It's like the pharmaceutical industry is out there to get black people. And because some of you don't listen when we speak, you listen better to the lighter shade of skin. Listen to what Dr. Young said.
One question from me. Where does any synthetic molecule serve the living?
They don't.
Right.
I mean, none.
And am I right in suggesting that a medicine, by definition, is something which contains synthetic molecules, something that is registered, patented, and put into the market as a medicine?
Absolutely.
Proper. Right. So what I'm learning from you, Dr. Young, is that a quadrillion-dollar enterprise is at work amongst us, decimating, culling the human family.
Intentionally.
Intentionally, using synthetic molecules, which by design are cancer, AIDS, all of the bogeymen we could dream up.
Yeah, it's for the purpose of sterilization and population control. There's too many people on the planet we need to get rid of. In the words of Bill Gates, at least 3 billion people need to die. So we'll just start off in Africa. We'll start doing our research there, and we'll eliminate most of the Africans because they're deplorable. They're worthless. They're not part of this world economy. So they have their rights taken away, and they're suppressed, and they're experimented.
And the multilateral agencies and the health and regulatory so-called authorities and agencies appear in the main to have become weaponized and appear, I again use the word appear advisedly, we're not casting judgments here, we're taking depositions, listening to expert testimonies, appear to be weaponized and appear to be working in collusion against the living men and women of the soil. Is that a fair statement?
It is. It's not a bacterial war. It's a systemic poisoning war, and they're using chemical warfare against all of us.
This clip actually was not supposed to be part of this video. I just felt like adding it. I'll probably do a separate video for you guys on this one topic of chemical warfare. But they are intentionally, listen, they're using the word intentionally unaliving us as Africans. And very was unalive because Tina, we don't want to start our own pharmaceutical industries. I told you guys when the pandemic comes, you guys panic and look to China. You guys panic and look for vaccines. You look to America, the Pfizer vaccine, and the Russian vaccine. Or you don't know how to make your own vaccines. We don't want to start institutions as Africans. Angas why? We have the education, we have everything. But after all of those things, we want to be workers. Who has bewitched us Africans? Eh? Who is this person that has bewitched us so much that we have the minerals, we have all the plants that we need on earth to heal any type of sicknesses, kidney disease, cancer, whatever. We have all of those things, but we still run to Western medication. Who has bewitched us Africans? Who has bewitched us? These people have weaponized the hospitals. You think, I've got medical aid, I'm going to hospital. They treat you different as an African person. You don't know what they are doing to you when they've made you sleep there. The doctors are discussing there in front of your body. Yeah, this K boy, this K word, we must finish these ones. These hooligans, these monkeys, we are sick and tired of them. Let's not do the operation full. Let's do it half. Because we are running to them always. Start your own institutions, African child. Start your own institutions, African child. This is a chemical warfare. You are running to the chemist. Oh, I've got flu. Hey, let me run to the chemist. Oh, my headache. Oh my God, let me run to the chemist. What do you think those things are doing to our bodies? What do you think those things are doing to our bodies? When we had doctors from the apartheid regime who told us they were given the mission to give us HIV, to infect our African people with HIV purposefully. So like I said, this video, I can speak the whole day about this topic. So let me let it slide for now. When I just marinate it in your heart and put a memory, a reminder, I will speak about this again. You know, instead of ministers playing the humble game and serving the people and doing what is right, we have ministers like Gayton Mckenzie who are saying, I hated Cyril Ramaphosa, but now I love him because I don't have to be stuck in traffic.
So we were in Ekurhuleni, and there was a song that was saying, a Sotho song. Generally, if you want to talk Sotho to me. The song was, Re o rata kaofela Ramaphosa. Hey, we were in trouble. The ones that are not from the ANC. Me, I was standing up and I was singing, Re o rata kaofela. I was singing. And one person next to me said, but you are not from the ANC. Why are you saying? I said, I am appreciating. I said, you see, when you're in those blue lights and you're not stuck in traffic, remember who appointed you. I am remembering. So I was singing for the privilege of serving South Africa. And I was singing the loudest, Re o rata kaofela. And my friend called me, he says, I saw you singing Re o rata kaofela. I said, where are you now? No, I'm coming from Pretoria. I said to him, you know, what's wrong if I sing that? He says, no, but you can't be singing, you love Ramaphosa. I said, but I love him now. He says, no, man, you can't. I said, no, I don't blame you. The frustration of traffic, I know it's getting to you.
We can say what we want, Tina, who stay in the southern tip of Africa in Azania. But there in the West, we have a young leader who's 35 years old, Ibrahim Traore, who's the president of Burkina Faso, who has cut allowances for all the ministers and all the members of parliament. Yes, he's driving an old car, an old Toyota Land Cruiser. He said nobody's upgrading. We are cutting. Nobody's sleeping at 5-star, 6-star hotels, 4-star hotels. You're going to sleep in normal guest houses. When normal people work, they pay for their own transportation. Why should you get a special transportation? All of those things that Ibrahim Traore did. But we have these ones. But you know what? From where Gayton comes, quitting school to be a criminal, be part of gangsterism, go to, and he had such a great father, Shem, yes? Such a great father and mother, Gayton. He just chose gangsterism. And he says it, he says, I didn't want to be like my father. I wanted to be like the gangster next door. That's what Gayton says in his words. You know, you raise a child so well, but that child does not want to be like you, the honest father. He wants to be like the gangster next door. For him to have gone through that and went to prison, come back, write books and whatever, I think he does not believe that he's a minister of a department in South Africa. The excitement of saying, you know, I've got blue lights now. I don't, you know, people who are jealous that I love Cyril Ramaphosa, I understand, because they get stuck in traffic. That is the reasoning capacity of someone that is not educated. We are in trouble, Africa, with Gayton Mckenzie. I'm telling you, we are in trouble. We are in trouble. And I was rooting and said, no, don't give him Home Affairs, give him the Ministry of Police. I said, how much of a big head was he going to have there? Yeah, but right, Bamnigi Sports. I mean, when he was announced as the Minister of Sports, he says, I'm going to bring spinning back. Spinning. You want to bring spinning back. You want to make it a professional sport. Ever since he talked that rubbish, he's been quiet now. You'd never heard him speak about, because he speaks out of excitement. But anyway, the DA, every time they fail to attack somebody in parliament, they run to the courts.
And that is why the focus has to be Dr. HLOPHE. And that's not being personal. It's really being, we're really asking this court to look at this case for what it is. What the DA fails to achieve in the debates in Parliament, they brought it here. The same arguments they brought in Parliament are here. But they failed through the process of Parliament. So what they are asking as a remedy is that this court must then intervene and do what? Create an ad hoc committee. There was a proposal of an ad hoc committee. Have a special attention paid to, is he fit to be, and your Lordship used the same word, is he suitable to be a member of the JSC? And my argument, and it was relevant, is that the only suitability requirement under Section 178 is membership of the National Assembly. There's no other. As it would be with reference to a judge president. The only suitability requirement is judge president. As it would be with the advocates. The only suitability requirement is advocate or attorney. And that's the argument I'm making. I'm not straying away from the case. I'll be very concerned if that was what the court was suggesting I am. I'm making strictly arguments that are relevant for the client I represent. Which is that you have to look at what the DA is asking you to do in Corruption Watch. They're asking you to tell the National Assembly how to do it. In fact, your Lordship actually raised the relief that the Corruption Watch is asking for. They want the matter to be referred back to the National Assembly to take the decisions referred to in paragraph 2 and 3 about afresh, in accordance with the principles set out in this court's judgment.
Now we've got the section 178 that says the only suitability for you to become a member in the committee of the JSE in Parliament is to be a member of Parliament. So you can't be a person in the public space. As long as you are in Parliament, it means you are a parliamentarian. You can be in all the committees. The racist DA has got members in all the committees. Now they've got an issue with this one of John HLOPHE, because there is no rule that speaks about impeachment. You see? So it is for the DA for us to follow rules when it suits them. When the rules doesn't suit them, then they want to change it. But when the MK wants to change the laws, then the MK is unconstitutional. Can you see what is happening here with the DA? So they want, when it suits them, we must run left. When it suits them, we must run right. And these people, you see black people going there in Parliament to support this rubbish of the DA. Black people. They are fighting another black professional who's got 25 years under his belt in the justice system, and you want to tell me you as a black person supports that this guy must not be, he's already in parliament. Then if he's impeached, then why is he in parliament? You understand my reasoning? It doesn't make sense what the DA is doing. And we are entertaining these things. I was so happy to see the MK. They filled up the court system. Their people went there. And I was like, this is what we want to see. We want to see Africans united. Guys, stop entertaining the DA, man. Stop entertaining the DA. I'm sick and tired of entertaining the DA. But it's our job to re-conscientize you guys as to what that political party is doing. Rules apply when it is in their favor. When it was not in their favor, they did not like this relationship of Russia and China. Today they are in government. All of a sudden, China is a great partner. China, guys. Even now they are proposing that we must go nuclear. When Zuma proposed it, no man, it's corruption. How much do you think nuclear cost? If it was costing 1 trillion back then, how much now? But Utalim Pofu spoke it so well that the ANC politicians that voted against John Trope, remember now they voted for John Trope to be in the JSE this year, but a few months ago in February they voted against John Trope and impeached him. Listen to what Dalim Pofu said.
So let's not elevate it as if it's some godly decision that says that objectively Dr. HLOPHE is a person who has got some inherent wrongdoing. It was a political decision. If that impeachment happened now in this parliament, Dr. HLOPHE may not be impeached. So it was a political decision by a particular balance of forces which was dominated by the DA and the ANC at the time, before the ANC was dethroned from power in February this year. So let's not elevate it to something, oh no, you know. No, it's a political decision. Some of those people didn't even know what was happening, they just vote. Hey, Siangab, oh, and then they vote. And on the basis of that, you want to condemn a person for life beyond the grave. Beyond the grave. You have condemned him, you have vilified him, you have booted him out of his job, and now you go to the grave to dig the grave and say, I want to kill you again. That is what's happening here. Let's not glorify it with these pieces of paper. That is all that is happening. It's a lynching of black people in the same way that lynch mobs were doing in the South, in the United States. You want to lynch someone and not be happy with killing them, but you must hang them on a tree so that passers-by must see his body hanging like this. And you call it the rule of law. The rule of law, my foot. It's not the rule of law. It's the law of the jungle.
Like our politicians, they can't act independently, and they sign when they are taken into parliament, they are sworn in as individuals of parties, but Bona they toe the party line at all times. So the impeachment for Busiwe Mkhwebane and for Dr. John HLOPHE is because of a political decision. He is quite correct. If you had to take one of those MPs of the ANC and bring them to the side, many of them in fact, and say, why is it that you want to impeach John HLOPHE, motivating for 10 marks, they won't be able to tell you. They'll just, the only thing they will tell you is that because our party has instructed us to. So it was not a court that got John HLOPHE impeached. In fact, like Dalim Pofu says, if that impeachment had to be now in parliament, it will not win. So it's not like HLOPHE did anything wrong. It's just that the political powers that are there in parliament can group together and vote you out. Whether you are wrong or right or whatever, as long as you are trying to raise black consciousness like what Dr. John HLOPHE was trying to do, they will take you out. So it's very saddening, man. It's very saddening. That's why I said let's open this. I'm gonna send you guys the logo very soon, maybe next week, of PASETA Legal Minds. We need our own attorneys, guys. We need to fight, guys. One of you, because as a content creator, people think that we have this like this connection, this big connection. So many people take our numbers and send us their problems. King, they took this land from me. I've got the documentations. I've got everything. This is what is happening. Can you please help me? I'm like, yo, these people see me as somebody that has a solution to their problem. And I genuinely sometimes don't, you know. So I decided, okay, to help these people, I'm going to formulate a team called PASETA Legal Minds. That when such things happen, I can say, guys, here's our legal team, attack this thing. There's a child who got racially profiled at school. There's a child unfairly dismissed at school. There's a man, a lady unfairly dismissed at work. We as PASETA Legal Minds, we are going to attack this issue. And we attack it, and they will take us serious because we'll formulate this legal practice, whatever you want to call it, a group of legal attorneys, you know, advocates, whatever. We're going to be there and fight this thing because me now, I'm just I'm in the Department of Agriculture, graduated as for marketing. That's what I know. Understand? But I know I'm going to fight for my African people, and the only best way to do it is that we must have the what we call the first line of defense must be in our court systems. You understand what I'm saying? That's why we are building the school, the Pan-African School of Economics, Technology and Agriculture. And I want to thank everyone that donated on the 4th, which was 2 days ago when you guys see this video. We had the most donations in one day. So I want to thank the people of end of the month, because he never went to the end of the month, who on one day, there was, I think, 13, 14 people that donated in one day. In one day, I think 12, 13, 14, somewhere there. It's the highest that we had. Usually it's 3, 4, 5, 6 donations per day. Each and every day we get donations at PASETA, because African people understand the dream of building, of infiltrating the educational sector and making sure that our children get the best education. You know, education that teaches history, education that teaches economics, education that teaches technology, education that teaches agriculture, and many more. So I'm so excited with the donations. They're coming in small amounts. We are very grateful. Big amounts, we are very grateful. Don't think that your donation is too little for PASETA. 50 Rand, 20 Rand, whatever it is that you have, please make your contribution to building an institution that is going to stand for African people. So I'm very grateful. I'm going to be announcing a big announcement on Monday or Tuesday about our online classes. Be ready for that one. It's coming. Something big is coming for you guys. We have partnered with a strategic partner, and we are ready to go online. So we're just fixing all of those things over this weekend. Hopefully next week, let me rather say next week, I'll make an announcement. Get ready for the online classes, guys. Until we meet again, don't forget to pray. After we pray, stand up, African child. Do your best so that God can do the rest. Peace in Pan-Africanism. I salute you.